Hi, Cancer. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. My name is Brian. I am your queer psychic bestie, and I have a reading for you guys today. This is going to be a mid month check in for the sign of Cancer. So, if you have Cancer anywhere in your chart, maybe you identify with Cancers, you vibe with them, you could be a cross watcher, whatever the case may be, this reading may resonate for you. As always, this is the internet. Take what resonates and leave what does not. For those of you looking to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through email or form submission on my website. Ooh, that was fast. Okay. Cancer, I am doing a free flowing reading for you guys today. This is not a structured spread, This is free flowing. It allows your guides to kind of talk about whatever they want to talk about with me. Gives it more of a conversation feel and less of like a structured feel. So that's how we're doing it today. Let's get into it. Bottom of the deck is for September as well. I don't know if I said that. Bottom of the deck is your challenge. Represents what you're not seeing, what you're not looking at. We've got the Page of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Star. Empress as well. Okay, Cancer. I feel like your challenge here is some of you could be starting a new job this month. Because your challenge is like going outside of your comfort zone, right? With the Star, that's healing. The Fool is taking a leap of faith. And then the Page of Pentacles is like that incoming communication. Could be from a job. Could be you also sending those like antenna out, the feelers. But it feels like your challenge is going to be, I almost want to say stepping up to the plate here. You know, with the Emperor, sorry, not the Emperor, the Star. The Star and the Fool. I think a lot of you are leaving a comfort zone right now. You know, it feels like there's this strong redirection happening where I feel like maybe I always use the hospital analogy. So let's say we're working in a hospital, right? You guys are in the emergency room, but you really want to be in pediatrics. You pivot, you go to a different floor, but you stay in the same hospital. That's like kind of how it feels for me right now. Sorry, my eyes are watering. I'm having some eye issues, girl. I just be falling apart. Just look the other way when I touch my eyes. It feels like a lot of you are having this redirection moment where you're kind of like, okay, I was going this way, but I think I want to go this way instead. It kind of feels like, you know, whenever my guides show me a fork in the road, it's staying in the same, again, building. You're in the same hospital, you're just going to a different floor. When I see a divided highway, like if my guides show me a divided highway, that's my symbol for like we're switching career paths. I don't feel that, Cancer. I feel like your mid month is just a realization of like, wait, I kind of don't want to be here. It's the best way I could put this for you guys, but let's dive in. Let's get into it. You start with the Page of Wands and the Nine of Cups. It almost feels like, Cancer, at one point or another, this was making you happy. Okay, Nine of Cups is happiness, and the Page of Wands is yet another communication card. Page of Wands is someone coming in, saying they want to work with you, they want to deal with you. Page of Wands is like about passions. This could be someone being like, hey, I'm passionate about the same thing you're passionate about. Let's go and talk about it. But with this Nine of Cups, that's like wish fulfillment. That's happiness. So it feels like with this little combo here going on, at one point in time, I think you guys, I don't want to say that. There's been prolonged happiness here. I'm going to take back the one point in time. Okay. I think you guys have been prolongedly happy with where you are currently. It feels like there's a stretch of time of just contentment here. It doesn't feel bad to me, Cancer. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. So let's see what happened to it. Oh, I said that and then the Tower came out. Okay. So something definitely happened that changed your mind here, changed your perspective here. The Moon in the reverse. You found something out. So the Moon in reverse is like the illusion lifts. It's coming into truth. It's things being um shown, come to light. So it feels like with the Queen of Cups here, some of you may have gotten information about where you were working that impacted you in a profoundly emotional way. Queen of Cups is your energy, Cancer. That is feminine water energy, right? And the Queen of Cups is emotional depth. When we're talking about the Queen of Cups, it's how deeply can I feel the emotion? And so with the Tower and the Queen of Cups, that tells me that you were kind of smacked a little silly by this. Okay? I mean, you have Temperance on the bottom of the deck as well. So the Moon in reverse is, again, there's some sort of like knowledge that came out here. Okay, this is going to be really specific, so obviously only take this for those of you that resonate. There's like pay disparity here is what I'm hearing. Like pay inequity is how I'm hearing it. You may have found out that other people were getting paid more to do the same job as you. And so it feels like there's this knowledge that you get about where you were happy that makes you kind of go, oh, ew. Tell me more about this. Thank you. The Devil. This was probably very hush-hush. I mean, most places like this are. Yeah, you've got the Hanged Man and the Devil. There's almost this feeling here of like, how did I not see it? Cancer, I feel like part of the lesson here for you guys is that I tell my collectives and my clients this all the time. In our lives, sometimes, a lot of the times, we're not meant to see these things. Okay? There are things that are meant to happen to us without our knowledge, without understanding why they've happened, but they're for our growth. Okay? A lot of this comes down to like, if you had known this was happening, would you have taken the job? If you knew that this was down the road. And it comes back to the center point here of like, everything that happens to us shapes us. This job, whatever this is that we're talking about here, it was meant to teach you things. Whether or not that's speaking up for yourself, arguing for a higher salary, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition, or just allowing yourself to be happy. That's what it was here to teach you. I feel like most of you were here to learn. Some of you feel like really strong control issues coming through, like needing, you may find that you're a little bit of a micromanager. Maybe you're in a managerial position, but it feels like some of you guys are very nitpicky about what you control and how you control it. And it feels like this was a lesson in that you could be in the most control possible. You still may not know what's coming. It still may not, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Okay? I feel like a lot of you guys, this was the lesson here of like, oh, okay. Like, I really can't. There are certain disappointments, certain heartbreaks that we are just destined to go through here in this world. I know that's a really tough thing to digest, but this is like one of those moments, I feel like. Can I get one more? Thank you. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. I think this, whatever this is that happened here, Cancer, I think it's also coming back to how are you recovering from it? You know, how are you rebounding from this? Three of Pentacles is teamwork and collaboration, but most of the time it's collaboration on a work front, right? So again, it feels like you guys are having this moment of, like I said earlier, you're pivoting from one direction to another. You may be taking yourself to a new department or moving jobs or like moving where you're conducting your business, because it kind of feels like this has left like a really soiled taste in your mouth, like really sour, for obvious reasons here, right? And I think a lot of you guys, this is sort of like where the pivot is coming from. I would encourage you not to feel bad about this, because I'm feeling also sort of like this. I think some of you guys are struggling with too much empathy right now. Like you're holding empathy for the people that hurt you, which empathy is never, it's never bad to hold empathy, but we need to make sure that we can hold space at the same time, right? Like I can have empathy for maybe my boss is under direct orders from someone else and she's carrying it out. So I could hold empathy for her, but I'm also not going to sacrifice myself simply for her because she's also in a difficult position. She's a grown adult. I think some of you guys need to remember that the people around you are grown adults. They have to be able to learn the same lessons as you, and they have to be able to manage and get themselves out of what they need to get themselves out of, okay? Because your next two cards here are the Ten of Wands and the Page of Swords. Don't let fear stop you, Cancer. Okay, I think some of you guys are very afraid to move on from here because you're like, well, what if the cycle repeats? The way my guides are giving this to me is like, you have to have good boundaries, but you also have to make sure a lot of this feels very heavy career reading for you, Cancer. Feels like your career is going to take up the rest of your month. You have to be able to negotiate what you want. Okay, let's say you look it up and let's say you're a manager. Okay, you're managing at a local retail store that, I don't know, you look up all the other managers in this company and they're all making $100,000 a year and you're making 75. When you go to a new place, let's say you hop clothing lines, you go over to a competitor, you need to do that research beforehand. What are the managers over here making? What am I asking for? What's my qualifications? What do I want? And then you go in with that sort of bargaining chip, right? I think some of you guys are worried about the cycle repeating, but you have to remember that you've learned from it too. You know, worrying that the cycle repeating because you don't have proper boundaries is the same thing as telling yourself you haven't learned. You didn't learn the lesson, you haven't grown up a little bit more. Okay? Yeah, you've got the Ace of Cups, Justice, Empress, and the World. Holy shit. Whatever's coming in for you, Cancer, it's going to be really beautiful. But I'm telling you, I'm going to be the one to tell you this. You're going to have to work it. Okay? With the Empress and the World, Ace of Cups and Justice, there's this energy here of like holding firm and not settling, basically. You know, I think some of you guys, you struggle in this area again of boundaries, in this area of like, and energy of like self-assertiveness. And it feels like in this mid-month, as your cycle, your cycle, maybe you're on your cycle right now, as your month sort of comes to a close here, it's how strongly can I stand up for myself? How can I argue for what I'm worth? You know, with the World here, it's like, can I close the cycle? Can I move on from it? Seven of Wands. Stop underestimating yourself, babe. Give yourself some more credit here. Judgment. Yeah, there's some like serious decision making that has to happen here. And Strength. Judgment and Strength is like, you guys need to remember that no matter what decision you're facing here, no matter what is happening in your world, even if this is not career, you hold power. Okay, that's what this reading is about. You know, yes, we're talking about career, but Cancer, we're also talking about like the power that you hold as an individual, as a person, as an entity in this 3D world. You hold control. You're trying to micromanage control, but in the wrong areas is what I feel like. Okay? You have an undeniable power in your own life, and you need to remember that. What are you willing to settle for? What behavior is unacceptable to you? What pay is acceptable to you? You know, all of these things are how we exercise our own individual control over ourselves, right? If I go, let's say, I don't know, this is such a random example. I have a business reaches out to me and they're like, I want you to do tarot readings for 40 people in my whole building, but I can only pay you $100. It is my responsibility, but also within my own personal power to say, hey, I don't think that's a good fit for me. I'm sorry. Okay, some of you guys are forgetting this. It's not about the semantics of the control, the specifics. It's about your own personal power, your own personal exercising of that power. How do you give it back to yourself? How can I afford myself a leg up here? Yeah, you have the Four of Cups here. I think you guys are so concerned with, I'm going to be really mean for a second, Cancer. I really want you to hear me, though. You're so concerned with the things that are going to affect the outcome the least. My guides really want me to say this. That matter the least. You're not paying attention to what matters the most. Which is you. Your skill set. Your toolkit. Your personal power. Where are you going? What are you going to settle for? What are you going to argue for? What are you looking for out of this? Okay? The way my guides want me to explain this to you is like, I say this all the time to my collectives and my clients. It is no longer, well, what am I bringing to the table here? You're coming to my fucking table. What are you bringing to me? How are you enriching my life, my experience? And yes, this does look a little muddy when we are, you know, if we are applying to jobs, if we are applying to work somewhere, it can be hard to think of it as like, well, what are they bringing to me? But you're bringing yourself, all of your qualities, all of your expertise, everything that comes along, again, in your personal power. What are they bringing to you? Are there new connections here? Is there the possibility of world travel? You know, I don't know. I just made that up on the spot. You know, like, this is what I mean, Cancer. It is not just simply, what am I bringing to the table? Because obviously, yes, we're bringing ourselves to the table, but what's in the bubble of the self? What's in your own personal power? And what are you looking for from the other party here? Okay? I mean, literally, King of Pentacles and Strength. I can't overstate it enough. King of Pentacles is literally managerial energy. It's the highest pentacle card you can get next to the Queen. And Strength is self-esteem, self-worth, high boundaries, strong outlook on things. You know, it really... You guys really are at such a moment this month of exercising your power. It's unreal. Yeah, Six of Pentacles. This is exactly what I just said to you guys. Are you going to give me what I'm worth? Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Ace of Pentacles, because some of you need to recognize that on your own, you could do it. I think some of you may even be considering starting your own business here, branching out and doing it yourself. And that may have to come after the realization that nothing else is speaking to you. I'll give you a real world example. I used to be a hairdresser. You all know this. I talk about this all the time. I worked at like 6+ salons before I was like, maybe I should have my own suite. And it was the best thing I ever did for myself. It bought me my house. It bought me freedom. It afforded me so much more than working in a traditional salon. Okay? Some of you guys may be encroaching on this idea. Maybe not hairdressing, of course, but like you're coming up on this thought process. And Four of Pentacles, you're not going to hold back when it does happen. Yeah. Ten of Cups and the Star. Beautiful combo. Star is healing. Wish fulfillment. Ten of Cups is the ultimate happiness. Ultimate wish. Again, ultimate wish fulfillment. This is so much good energy coming your way, Cancer. It is truly up to you. You are coming to such a pinnacle of power, of self-realization here, that it is up to you. It's your choice. It's your life. What's going to make you happy? Where does your skill set want you to go? Where does your mind want you to go? Where does your heart want you to go? Most importantly, with the 10 of Cups, it's where your heart wants you to go. Okay, Magician, bottom of the deck. All of the cards are in your hand right now, Cancer. I literally feel like if this was poker, this is like the turn where you go all in. You know? Yeah, Page of Cups. I think you guys are at such a strong, healthy place at the end of this month. It's coming truly to such a clear point of who am I? What's best for me? Where do I want to go? What benefits me the most? You know, I think you guys are, you're not settling anymore. And I think that in and of itself is quite beautiful of a lesson to learn. Okay, let's get you an oracle card. This is the Angelarium. This is the oracle deck I use literally all the time. Love it, obsessed with it. It's amazing. Reads us to filth. It's great. Okay, let's get you mid-month for Cancer, please. What's the advice? Mid-month for Cancer, please. Thank you. You guys have Sithariel, Angel of Deception. Interesting based on what we've been talking about. Let's read it. It's number 21 for those of us into numerology. Drawing this card is an opportunity to consider the ways in which you might deceive others and the ways in which you might deceive yourself. The masks we wear may shield us from the harshness of the world around us, but they also function as a gateway to descend into roles that shade our authentic selves from the conscious mind. Be wary of the stories you tell about yourself. Cancer, this card always reminds me to interrogate my own stories, to interrogate my own narratives. What am I saying to myself? How is it shaping how I'm interacting in the world? How is it shaping what I'm going after? Is it helping me or is it hurting me? And sit with that, okay? Cancer, that is your mid-month check-in. That is what I have for you guys. Really positive reading. This is looking really good for you, Cancer. So, if this reading resonates with you or my reading style happens to resonate with you, I would really appreciate it if you would consider liking and subscribing. We are on the way to 200 subscribers. I have stumbled over that every single reading I've done today. So, anyway, if you guys would like to interact with me on a live basis, I do go live 3 days a week on Twitch. You can find me Wednesday and Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. and Saturday from 4 to 6 EST. Yesterday I rescheduled to today, so when this video goes out, it will be Sunday. I will be on Twitch tonight from 4 to 6. If you would like to keep up with the Twitch updates, notifications, I do also have a Discord server where all of that is posted. You can, if you would like the link to that, you can ask in the comments below. I'll post it for you, or pop by stream, and one of the mods is always going to be posting that. So, Cancer, I leave you with this. I hope to see you, really stumbling over my words. I hope to see you over on Twitch, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.